considering that Monday was Memorial Day, he would be, and considering that our next speaker was a Vietnam vet, he would be paying a tribute to some of his fallen comrades in a speech entitled Reflections on the Wall. Everybody please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster, Mr. Herb Nowlin.
In honor of the men and the women of the armed forces of the United States, for those who gave their lives and for those who remain missing, they are listed in the honor in which they fell. Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, quietly I stood at the apex of the wall, reflections of my past, melding with those of the present, the living with the dead. Slowly I traversed this length, pausing to read the names, to remember my fallen comrades. Charles Schoonover, Al Hollingsworth, January 15, 1966. Chuck and Hal were returning from a flight over the South when they crashed at sea. Hal, a red-headed lad from Idaho, was one of my roommates at our home base in Sanford, Florida. I was his replacement in the squadron. It was I who packed his things to send home to prison. Robert Hansen, February 3rd, 1966. Bob was flying with Jerry Coffey when they were struck near the city of Danois. Jerry survived 7 years as a POW. Bob, an engineer from Cleveland, Ohio, was a classmate both in Pensacola and later in our home squadron. But more of Bob later. Tom Colstead, Bill Clinton, October the 22nd, 1966. Tom and Bill were struck by a missile in the city of Bend. It's said that Bill survived the collision. However, he committed suicide to prevent being captured. Bill was also one of my roommates in Sanford. He was quite a ladies' man, or at least in his opinion. And truly, the ladies really liked his bright red sports car. Lawrence Dion, Charles Hahn, August 27, 1967. Larry and Charles were off the coast when the plane exploded. Charlie, he was my roommate in the first trip that we had to Vietnam. I was his attendant at his wedding to Pam. This was the hard one. Shortly after we returned from Vietnam, the skipper called us into the room and said that one of us would be transferred to another squadron going back to Vietnam. They needed a crew with experience. Pam thought that I should volunteer because I was a bachelor. Charlie was chosen. Pam never forgave. Ed Young, Rainey Carpenter, March the 31st, 1969. Ed and Rainey were flying over Laos when they were struck by a missile. Rainey was one of my grade school classmates and friends. His mom was my 4th grade teacher. The week before he left, I was playing bridge with him and his wife, Karen. November the 3rd, 1991, Hickenfield, Hawaii. The last of the warriors were returned on their shields as taps echoed across the tarmac, and the 11th flag-borne casket was lowered from the plane. The officer announced, Robert P. Hanson, Lieutenant Commander, United States Navy, February 3rd, 1966. After more than 25 years, Bob was once again on American soil. Welcome home, my friend. And to all of my comrades, rest in peace. The Vietnam War tore asunder the fabric of American society. No war in our history had been so long. No war save the civil, so divisive. It was not when Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. There was no hurrah. At best, we were treated with indifference. At worst, derision. But the wall provided an opportunity for a reconciliation between we who fought the war and those who fought against it. For Vietnam vets, the wall is sacred ground. But we have not done enough. The largest demographic group of our homeless are Vietnam vets. Once again, we are engaged in combat overseas. Our young women and young men are returning, thousands wounded in body and spirit. We must not reenact the failure of the past. We must provide for them the care not only now, but as it's needed and continued for them and their families. For it is not only by serving those who survive that we truly honor those who have died. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, for you, and for all Americans, there are reflections on war.